Hello, I want to welcome you all to today's workshop. We'll be talking about ChatGPT and AI and a lot of this new stuff that just came up out of the blues. And we'll be seeing how it benefits us as developers. Uh, Briefly to introduce myself, I'm Aosu, the CEO of Terry Limited, and Terry is actually an investment firm, and I'm also the CTO of TrueTech, the technology arm of Terry. And I'll be taking us in this session in partnership with Code 247. And I want to believe this session is going to be very beneficial to every one of us who will be joining us today. And I want to prepare your heart because this is going to be very educative. There's a lot to learn and not to waste of your time. Let's get into it. So, uh, okay, so what are we talking about today? We're talking about harnessing ChatGPT for efficient code debugging. Harnessing ChatGPT for efficient code debugging. And there's a lot about ChatGPT on the internet today. I mean, it's a brand new technology and that just came up not long ago. So there's a lot to learn about it. And we're still learning. It's a learning process, seeing all the use cases and seeing how it can be applied to ease our everyday activities, our life, our work, our business, our family. I mean, lots of applications are coming up every day. So let's see how we can use it as developers to make our work more efficient. So let's get to the agenda of today. So today we'll be talking about, of course, ChatGPT, but then we'll be looking at other AI tools because ChatGPT is just one of them. There are several other tools in the market, and we'll be looking at other tools briefly, and then we'll be getting to a practical session where we're looking at how to visually debug our code with ChatGPT. So let's get into the introduction quickly. So what is ChatGPT? That's the first thing you want to look at. It's actually an artificial intelligence, yes, chatbot that was developed by OpenAI. And it was released sometime in 2022, November 2022, and since then it has taken the world by storm. It became the fastest growing application. I mean, on the internet. I mean, it became. I mean, the users for this application grew in such a very short time. It's it has amazed everybody at how fast it has grown. Of course, it's a brand new technology, so everyone is jumping on it, and there are several use cases for that. So let's look at AI. ChatGPT is an AI as we have defined. Then what is AI? And for our information, AI refers to computer systems or machines that can perform tasks, make decisions like humans. I mean, these are artificial intelligence. Human beings are intelligent, but then uh, scientists have developed artificial intelligence using machines, computers, and systems to be able to replicate what the human brain does. And that is what AI is all about. So let's look at what code debugging is. Since we're going to be debugging code, let's define that a little because I believe not everybody here might know exactly what that word debugging stands for or how it applies to software development. So code debugging is a process of identifying and resolving issues, errors, or bugs in a computer program or software. So that is what code debugging is. When as a developer, you are trying to write a program, then you stumble upon an issue with your code. I mean, it doesn't work as expected. Of course, our code don't always work as expected. So that is when we get into debugging, trying to find out what is wrong. Why is it? Why is the problem there? What's causing the issue? And of course, code debugging is not just for newbies. Maybe it's just for those who are learning to code. No, even experienced developer also debug their code because I mean the codes are not perfect, so there will always be issues with them uh, somehow. So let's look at some fun fact about debugging. I already mentioned one of them, but the term debugging actually started sometime back in the early 50s or late 50s when Grace Hopper found a living bug. I mean, a live bug. It was a real bug then in a computer program she wrote. Actually, the computer program was written in a book called Logbook. So and back then, computer programs were written on paper and then probably used, punched into a machine using punch card or something of that nature. You could go to, you want to go read the history about that to learn more, fine. But it's exciting that it started from there. Debugging started with a live bug. And interestingly, debugging takes so much of our time as developer. As a developer, when writing code, and there's many times you just have to debug your code. And if you look at that time you spend debugging your code, it's almost 50% of the time you spend developing. So debugging is crucial, it's important to our development. But then, of course, it can be a time waster. If not done right, you could spend your whole time just trying to fix a little bug. And that is why we want to go into making it more efficient using AIs like ChatGPT and the others we'll be discussing as well. So let's look at the other tools we have in the market, apart from ChatGPT. Of course, ChatGPT is the most prominent of them, but we have several other tools that have come up, either built on, on top of ChatGPT or they are standalone applications on their own. So let's look at what we have. AI has witnessed significant advancement in recent years and has found applications in various industries. In software development, AI tools play a crucial role in enhancing development processes and improving code quality. AI is playing a very important role today. Writing code is not easy. Writing good code, writing clean code is difficult. And because of that, many times our codes are not clean. But of course, we need to strive to make our code as clean as possible. And but, but with AI coming on scene, that will be a lot more easier to do. Let's look at the role AI is playing in our software development process. Code completion is one of the things AI is actually helping us to do. AI tools can analyze existing code base and provide suggestions for code completion, uh, reducing the need for manual typing and improving efficiency. That's what AI does. It makes coding, as we call it, or programming, a lot more easier and efficient because it can actually help you predict what you are planning to write. It can help you predict your program, help you complete your code. Probably you're writing a particular method, function. It could help you complete it in whatever language you're writing it in. And with that, you don't need to be typing everything, every bit of the code you want to type. And then it also helps in static analysis. AI tools can perform static code analysis to identify potential bugs, vulnerabilities, and coding errors, enabling developers to catch up issues early in the process. That's what AI helps us do. Because with AI, you could actually determine if there's an error or probably a bug in your code, or probably there's maybe your code is not optimal enough or something that can be fixed. AI can help us do that. And the AI tool also comes in when we want to test. It's very important to test our code. Testing is the best practice. And AI tools can automate the testing process by generating test cases for us. It can be exciting. Of course, some of these things are things we don't like writing. Like going through the period of analyzing your code, testing, writing tests, cases, and the rest. It can be repetitive. It could be, boring sometimes, but with AI coming on board, it can become faster, and you don't need to do that all by yourself. So it's actually making the work a lot more easier as a developer. So let's look at the benefits of using AI tools. There are several benefits. I'll just mention a few of them. One, increase productivity. Definitely, if it completes your code for you, definitely you will spend less time writing, which will save you a lot more time. Improve code quality. AI interestingly knows the code better than most of us, because it has studied, I mean, thousands or millions of lines of code, and it knows what is best practice. So of course, you can't leave it all to it, but then it can give us clue or guide us in the right direction. Faster development cycles. So AI also make the process faster. Writing code, debugging your code, finding bugs, testing your code, the process can become faster with AI. So let's see a few of the tools we have in the market. And we know ChatGPT, which probably we'll be talking about today, but then the other tools that are even more specific to coding, there are more code specific tools, and their use cases are primarily for developers. And one of those tools is called Tab9. Tab9 is an AI-powered code completion tool that integrates with popular code editors. You could use Tab9 in your browser. Interestingly, Tab9 is an old tool. I mean, before the boost of AI came up just last year, we'll be using Tab9 for a while. So interestingly, Tab9 is older, and I've used it, and it is actually amazing how it could ease the development process by completing code based on context and saving the developers time. So let's look at then the next one is GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot 2 came up earlier than last year. That was in 2021. It was introduced, and it was also an interesting um, AI-powered code generation tool. It can help you generate code. Okay, once you write a function name, it can tell you what the body of that code is, what the other, the other lines of code would be, and it's really exciting using. It makes the work so much easier. And then we have others like Replete Ghostwriter, and then we have Amazon Code Whisperer. It's an exciting journey getting to AI. It makes the work so much easy for us. And I want to believe and that as you get into using it, of course, beyond just making it easy for you, it's going to help you to learn better code practices, help to learn how to write clean code. It's going to help you to learn best practices in software development. I mean, a lot of other things that we could learn from it. So let's prepare ourselves for the best. So this time around, we'll be going to the second session of our presentation, which is the hands-on session, and we'll be looking at a few codes and trying to use ChatGPT to actually debug our code